Okay, and because you know it the way you do, it actually literally feels like it's draining out of you. It could be the bottoms of your feet, it could be somewhere else, but it literally feels like it's just pouring out of you. It's like somebody left the faucet on, but yet you still feel drained. You don't even got, it's not that you have to call any energy back, it's just literally when you were 4 years old, you're kind of like mortified by being shamed about something, and this could be your own interpretation. Somebody don't really have to shame you, but you can feel the shame. And literally it can drain you, and it can feel like, for instance, when my father couldn't understand when they were getting a divorce, why would I choose my mother versus him? And I was ashamed into making that choice. You know, like, why are you doing that? I mean, and I didn't know how to respond to that being 3 years old, but I did feel the emotion that had hit me. And literally I felt drained because it's like, oh my God, I just did something wrong, and we blame ourselves. In this case, I don't see you blaming yourself, but I do see somebody. Now, were you always strong, or is it just that you became stronger as you got older?
I had a basic astrology chart done by this fella, and I'm pretty strong. I've got a lot of very strong signs. Unfortunately, I get very sensitive too, kind of almost empathically so, where I will take on other people's feelings and emotions, and I always want to give and nurture and make everybody all better.
Okay, now did you make that decision? Now remember, when you're younger, did you, when you were younger, were you strong, already strong?
Oh, didn't let me be. My mother was the one that was quite strong. My father was quiet and in the Air Force, and they moved every 3 years, and I did not like that.
That's the depleting. That's because you've had.
She wouldn't let me stand up and have my voice.
Okay, that's another depleting. So you got two things right now that you could be focusing on that deplete you. The not being able to stand up and have your voice, and that you had to move all the time, and literally that affects you. Doesn't matter who you are now, it's based on how you know your life when you were little. Your 4-year-old self is really saying it really had it was stripped. It really was depleted. So we're going to say we want you to heal depletion. And how we do the heal, we have several healing tools. You may be able to already have your own, but this is really allowing your body, how do we want to put it? For every thought you think, you create a chemical peptide so you can feel what you're thinking. Your body listens in on every conversation, whether you're thinking about it or not. You're repeating what people are saying. Your environment, you create chemical peptides. And it's not what you consciously are focusing on to be strong. It is what your body is telling you is the story. So it's when you are healing, we want you to be able to stop all those chemical peptide processes that are constantly repeating the same pattern that caused you to have to be in a cancerous state. Okay? And now you know, and I can see that, you know, no, cancer's not going to own me because it is not here. And I really do see that it's not really in the physical, it's pushed away. But now let's heal it completely out of you. The main thing is that it's about depletion. You need to, when you, MWReveal.com. M is in medicine, W is in woman, reveal.com. And you go and look for healing tools. Look under Hope Therapy. Under Hope Therapy, you will then watch the video and look at the words. And I'm going to tell you that the code you're going to have to use is R2D. You're going to hold your right wrist with your left thumb. And the second position, you're going to push your thumb deep. Okay, and we got these on YouTube, so I will get them up. You can listen to the recordings later, hopefully in Blog Talk. And the thing is that when you do what the Hope Therapy says, you already know the topic. anything that could deplete you in the past, anything that depletes you now, any way you know, like for instance that you didn't have a voice, you had to travel all the time, you had to reacclimate yourself, and it was just didn't matter. Okay? And that is what they want you to focus on, is how much you felt drained, you were depleted, and you weren't able to be nourished. You know, they did their best, but that's not the nourishment you needed. Okay? And do you have any questions?
No, that's great. I'll do that. We'll go back and we'll listen to this, and then I'll go in and do that.
Yeah, because there's a lot of gems here. Yeah?
May I ask you though? I do clay sculpture, and I do kind of unusual clay sculptures, and I've been doing showing the connection of nature. I love nature. I love grow things and take care of things. And I've been doing these rough plates and putting tree women on them, and with little boogers in the nest. And I love that clay, that tangible. And it's been challenging to make, a living at one artist.
Right.
I figure out how to get my work out into the world too.
Okay.
On that?
Yes, and it's based on the depletion again, because you finally are getting to have the voice, and you want to let the people to know it, but you still have to have the foundation, and part of your foundation is you're used to being depleted. So if you don't heal that, and you go out in the world, you may bump into people that will actually have the same signature, and then you'll be depleted again, and then you get to the point where you probably just want to take your art and just put it on the shelf. Well, if you heal that foundation, you'll be able to launch yourself forward. Okay? Because you need that strength in order to let everybody feel your presence in the room. Because if you're drained and you're standing there, people are going to feel like maybe you're empty, or you feel, you just don't feel whole. They may not even recognize your persona. Then, and you may be talking and you may be tired and it's sounding in your voice. Because you need all of that energy to make all the beautiful notes inside yourself so that you can actually function in this world. Okay, so it goes back to the same thing.
Yeah, makes sense.
When you create closure to this, you will automatically start getting your energy back. Okay? When your energy comes back, then it becomes effortless to start becoming who you are. All right?
That makes very good sense.
Well, check back. Oh, is that what it is? I wondered what that is. Well, call us back sometime. Okay? And say hi for us.
Okay, I shall do that. I'll give her a hug.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah. Stay blessed.
Stay blessed.
You too.
Okay, we've got a couple more callers.
Okay.
So we'll just jump right in, and
Yes.
we will go to area code 765.
You're on the air with Brenda and Jen.
Hello.
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 My name is Margie.
Hi, Margie. How can we help you?
Well, my question has been my emotions. And I tried grounding myself. It seems like even when I ground myself, sometimes my emotions just kind of get the best of me. And I'm kind of wondering what the heck's going on.
Okay. Well, looks like you're tired of sacrificing. Okay. And there's a part of you that has learned to be the good girl, the right and wrong. You know the best service. There's no other higher honor than to serve. But here's the thing. When you become so sacrificing, then what happens is there's nothing left for you so that you can do what you need to do. So there has to be healthy boundaries that need to be put into place. Now, as far as the emotions go, they said the main thing that happens is that you were disgraced if you didn't have good behaviors. Is that true?
I would be what?
You would be disgraced or rewards and punishment or anything for not having good manners.
Okay, yeah.
Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
Okay, and so you learned a corrective process So you have learned to cue yourself to behave. That's what makes you a good little girl. And then when you get older, without realizing it, you look for those cues. So again, you will be the good little girl because you don't want the consequences. And I will tell you that becomes rough, because when you start finding love and you have friends, and then you have, let's say, employees, or you're working, it can cause a great havoc, doesn't it, Jen?
Yeah, I mean, not knowing the give and take, because one of the cards that you have, that Earth Magic, it's about ebb and flow, is one of the cards. And so contemplating that there is an ebb and flow. There is a natural order. There is a balance. And we actually been watching that in the TV show Friends. There has to be a balance, an equilibrium. And when giving too much, then you lose out on how you're supposed to receive. Well, and then there's the conditioning that goes along with it, that you are supposed to be so giving and that kind of thing. And anybody who receives anything is just selfish. They're, all the negativity that goes along with it. I feel like that conditioning is part of your background.
Yeah.
All right, she drew you some cards. We just have to
Half of them ended up on the floor, but during the reading.
They were seriously wanting to be seen.
Yes. Okay, so to begin with, just on a general reading, and we'll see how this applies. When you stumble, upon the desert prince, you receive a gift. The plant life that exists in the desert environment is well defended, tough, and succulent, even though it gets little or no water. In spite of external conditions, extraordinary life can form and thrive. And so that's what you've been doing, is that you've been thriving even though the environment has been really tough. So what do they want you to be doing is, with the Lady of the Gift, brings a message of tithing. To be your ally, she requires you to look at the nature and method of your giving to others. The world is your church, and you only need to distribute 10% of your wealth to others to ensure that the flow continues. So it's saying that because of this conditioning, that you've survived even though it's been tough, but you don't have to give your whole entire self. You can still give just a little bit and see how much you can receive. And so then the last card is the Ringmaster of Scrutiny. And is all about the details. Look closely and pay attention to the smallest elements of what's being presented to you on your path. It's in these details, not the broad strokes, that you'll find the breathtaking beauty and perfection in what you observe. So maybe notice and take in all those moments when you did have to give so much of yourself, and call those parts back to yourself.
What's an interesting thing is that they showed me that, I don't know if you're a visual person, but it's like you see it coming. You have to look for it. And these are key words, because the thing they're pointing out was that you are used to having somebody that's bitter around you. Do you have people that are bitter that's around you? And they're saying that they have this need to make others wrong, and because you grew up that way, you draw people in that feel like they need to make you wrong or condemn you. And so to avoid these people, you have created yourself to constantly sacrifice those so they'll shut up. And so that you can actually feel like you can breathe without exploding. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So now that we know this, we got to ask your soul, you ready to heal? Yes. Now I need to figure out what you need to heal. The first thing that they want you to do is be very aware and check yourself when you start going into right and wrong. Oh, I'm not doing it the right way. That's the wrong way. And then you look at others. That's wrong. That's right. And it is an actual beginning of your process that you're constantly putting you and anybody else up against this